So this is Cutie Stix, which we're reviewing today here on Being Mrs. C. So I'm going to talk you through what you've got. We also have the world's biggest instruction manual, which is absolutely huge, and also like probably one of the most confusing instruction booklets ever too. So I'll talk you through how to do all the various bits. So this is your storage station with cute little drawer bit, I can't get it open out, at the bottom, which you can store bits in. I'll talk you through all the kit that you get in the box as well. So first of all though, when you're talking about Cutie Stix, this is actually what's called a Cutie Stick.
Hold on in.
Which is one of the sort of medium-sized ones. You've also got these tiny ones here which are called teeny sticks, and then you've also got these big ones here which have got cute things on them, and these are the mighty sticks. So in this set here you get 4 of the mighty sticks, you get 14 of the Cutie Stix, and then you also get 6 of the teeny sticks. And all of these are used for different purposes. So the mighty sticks and the Cutie Stix are the ones that you use for making bracelets and necklaces. The teeny sticks are the ones that you use for doing nail art. You can also then use a combination of the different ones. I think it's mainly the mighty sticks and the teenies to do, you can make like little models of them where you have like a puppy dog's head and little paws and things like that, and that's something that Thomas C has been playing with. The other things you get in the set are, this here is what's called the cutting unit, which obviously does the cutting, the plunger there, and it's all done with a safety gate and that, so children can't get their fingers in it. You've also got this bit here which is the coring unit. So the idea is that you use the cutting unit to actually cut slices of these. So these are like made of rubber, so like erasers. You cut slices of these off and then you use the coring station to put holes through them. So you have different things here which are the coring containers which you put the relevant pieces in. There's a little flap which opens up, and then there are holes through those, either straight through the middle or through the sides, depending on which way you want to core the items to put them onto your pieces of jewellery. So you've got those bits there. You've also then got this bit. So this is the threader unit, and this is to help you thread the things that you make out of the Cutie Stix, the mighty sticks and the Cutie Stix, onto the thread here, which is to make the jewellery and everything. These two here are the cutting frames, so these have got bits in them so that you can put in the teeny sticks and the Cutie Stix to hold them in position when you then use the cutting unit. And you've also then got, oops, a bit I've dropped, which is the coring wand, which is to help push the middle bits out when you've actually cored them. And then this is the Stix wand, which is basically used for pushing things into the cutting unit to save you actually sticking fingers in there and everything. There's a couple of other little bits and pieces like jewellery clasps, which are all stored in here, and also sticky adhesive dots which are used to put the teeny ones onto your fingernails for nail art. So what I'm going to talk you through first is using the cutting unit to actually cut some of the mighty sticks and the Cutie Stix. So we'll start off with the mighty sticks, and the first thing you need to do is, on here there are 2 settings as to which to use. So you've got the thicker band there, or the thinner band. The thinner band is only to be used when cutting the teeny sticks, and the thicker one is to be used when cutting the mighty sticks and the Cutie Stix, which are the ones you use for jewellery making. So that's what we're using today. So I'll start off with one of the mighty sticks, this love heart shaped one. So you put it in this end here. Now you don't need the cutting frames for the mighty sticks, and rather than using your fingers, this is where you're supposed to use this Stix wand, just to push it in place, and that's as far as it will go there. The idea then is what you should just do is be able to press down here and out on this bit comes the cut piece. And then all you need to do is take out what's left, stick it that way. If we then go on to cut one of the Cutie Stix, what you need to do here is use one of these. So you'll notice that both of these have grooves in them. The small one is what's used for the teeny sticks, so we don't need that now. The bigger one is what's used for the Cutie Stix. So we pop that in there, and we have the groove on the bottom, and there's a little notch there which the sticking out bit should go into, so it pushes in and it's firm and it can't twist or anything like that. And then there's space there in the small bit to put in your Cutie Stix. So you simply slide it in and then use the stick wand again, push it all the way through, and again press down, and out shoots your small piece that you've got there. So I'll do a couple more of those. What I have to do is perfect, that'll do. So next we're going to move on to coring the Cutie Stix. So what you've got here, this is the coring unit with a nice little door on here. And what happens is that you push the plunger to actually put a hole through, but the plunger will not work with the door open, so it's a safety feature there, so you can see the bit that comes down, but that will only work when the door is shut, just to prove that. So safety feature there. You've then got two of these coring units, little flip top lids. You'll notice that one has a bigger hole in it than the other one. So the bigger holed one is designed for the Mighty Stix, so that heart fits in there. And the other ones here are designed for the Cutie Stix themselves. So for both those you can flip the door shut. Now on each of these you have a choice as to how you're going to core them. You can either core straight through the middle, so you put the thread through the middle, or you can core from the side. So what we're going to want to do actually is for the love heart, which is likely to be probably at the centre of say a bracelet or a necklace, is have it aligned here so that the hole will go through where my fingers are from one side to the other. And these actually grip the pieces in place when you shut the lid. For this one here we have the little pug. And what we might want to do for the pug, we've got a choice here. We could either, say it's a pug, it might look like an L, depends what you think really. It's a pug if it's that way up. You shut that, you could choose to put a hole straight through the middle that way, or you could choose again to go through the side. And the way you make that choice is the orientation that you put them in here. So for the love heart, we're going to want to go down that way through it. So you put the piece in there, go the right way around. Pushes in, the door shuts. Now it's quite simple in that you push right down, pull it up, and sometimes they do suggest you might need to go through twice just to make sure it's done. Take that out. You open up this, tip it out, and then what you do here is you use your little coring stick to push through the hole, to push the bits of rubber out the other end. And then you've got your hole all the way through there. So that's the first one we've done, that's the piece that's come out in the middle. If we then do with the other one, and for just for the sake of example, I'm going to put the hole through the middle. So this time when you put the case in, you orientate it that way round. Again, shut the door, and through you go. Take that one out. And it looks like it's not been done, but actually when you put the one through, you've now got the hole straight through the middle. So we're now going to move on to using the threader unit to actually thread the Cutie Stix onto some of the thread to turn it into a piece of jewellery, could be a bracelet or a necklace. So first of all what you do is you take these off, and they recommend in the instructions that for a bracelet you need about 7 inches and for a necklace you need about 16 inches. I'm just going to take a length there, and they say just to cut it with a pair of scissors, which aren't included. So you've got your piece of thread there, and that's actually elasticy thread. And you then put your end neatly in here to keep it tidy. Put that back on there. Now you've got this. Now this kind of moves position quite a bit. So what they say to use is to put it at, say you've got it in the horizontal position there, put it at a 30-degree position, which is there. And then what they say you should do next is thread the Cutie Stix onto this threading tube here. So I've got an assortment of pieces here just to give you a demonstration. So I've got one of the little pugs which has a hole going through it that way. We've got another one which has the hole going through in the other orientation, again just to show you what's possible. We've got the big Mighty Stix, so again thread that one through. And because this is rigid, it's easy to thread things onto, whereas you can imagine with this being elastic and flimsy it'd be quite different. Put that one on there. So what you do when you've got all of those on is you take your bit of thread, and the first thing you do is you need to put a clasp on the end of it. So what you have in the set is a load of these little jewellery clasps, and the idea is that these obviously just fit together like that. So these bits of the jewellery clasp fits together obviously like that when it's closed. So what we need to do first of all is we need to secure an end inside. So you simply thread an end through the hole. So you've got the big end loose because that's the end that's going to clasp onto the other side. And you just tie a simple knot in there. See as close to the end as you can. We that not secure, you can then pull that through and it's tight, so it won't come off there. What you then do is you take this loose end of the thread and you thread it supposedly into there as far as you can go. What you should be able to do is put that into the horizontal position, and the other end, spin that around so you can see better. Once you've got it in the horizontal position, the other end comes out there, so you can then just pull the thread through as far as it can go. So you can't go any further now because the jewellery clasp end is right at the end there. Holding that tight, you then slide the pieces up the thread, and then you should be able to hold on to them and just keep pulling, and hey presto, that's your Cutie Stix threaded on there. Obviously if you're doing this properly you'd have a whole array of them on the thread, and simply to do the other end what you need to do is thread that through there. If I can. Imagine how difficult this would be to do it on all the pieces. And again you're just going to tie a simple knot in the end like we did at the other end, secure it. Put too close to the end there. And you can slide the clasp to the end. So if you had that full of Cutie Stix, then you'd just be able to trim those ends off there with a pair of scissors so that they're not in the way. Hey presto, one piece of jewellery.